We shall now begin the trial to decide which is the true best ship in Majo no Geboku to Maou no Tsuno. The plaintiff is the Arsenio Sorrow ship. The defendant is the Arsenio Rei ship. Please begin when you see fit. Thank you, Your Honor. I'd like to start off by stating that this has nothing to do with the canonical events that take place in the story. This is purely to prove that my client, the Sorrow ship, is simply the better ship. The first point I would like to bring up to support my case is the fact that Sorrow had known Arsenio for a far longer time than Rei has. Because of this, they basically know each other inside and out. I believe that this makes Sorrow the superior fit for Arsenio, as Rei only knows the current Arsenio. If you simply think that the amount of time each of them have known each other is enough to make our Sorrow the better ship, then I can also say that since Rei has been in the series longer and has more screen time, that the audience sees the two of them together longer and should be the better fit for Arsenio. Also, bringing up canon or not, there's a reason why Rei was the one who won in the end. It's simply obvious that Reinio is the better ship and therefore would be the one people would want to see at the end. Besides, knowing the past Arsenio is nothing but a demerit. The Arsenio we see in the series has grown greatly and has been forged into a completely new person, free of his past. With that being the case, his new love of Rei would fit him much better than the past he had already left behind. However, it's because of Arsenio's past that we are able to see the story progress. Also, we wouldn't even be getting the final Arsenio if not for Sorrow being there. Even though Arsenio had managed to leave his past behind, it's because of Sorrow that he's able to do so and continue moving forward. You could say that Arsenio would not be the man he is without Sorrow in the series. As important as the past is in developing Arsenio into who he is, it has nothing to do with the romance. In the first place, Rei was the one who Arsenio had set his eyes on, and from the very beginning, we knew that the feelings were mutual. In fact, Sorrow could be said to be the homewrecker. Even though their relationship then managed to progress very quickly, it would have been a matter of time before they would get together as they grow and learn the truths about each of their pasts. You could say that Sorrow was actually just a tool to further strengthen the ship of Reinio. I personally do not believe that homewrecker is the right word to describe Sorrow. He had genuinely fallen in love with Arsenio and was fairly trying to win him over. Also, while you might call him a fool, this proves that Sorrow has had a great deal of influence on Arsenio. Conversely, Rei has barely had any impact on Arsenio's growth. While you think that they would get together eventually, if not for Sorrow at all, Arsenio would probably still be single. Also, we cannot be talking about a ship as simply a romantic affair. The influence that each of the parties are able to bring to each other is also vital. In that sense, while Sorrow has had a great influence on Arsenio, the opposite could be said as well. Sorrow had his world completely changed thanks to Arsenio, and I think that is one of the greatest things for a ship, for both halves of the ship to be vital to each other, grow and become stronger together. While you have made a fair point, we cannot forget the crucial fact of their genders. Despite the fact that Sorrow loves Arsenio, Arsenio still mostly sees Sorrow as a good friend rather than a real romantic interest. While Arsenio does not have his female form of Alma, he's still biologically a male. That is why he can have such a strong attraction towards Rei, who is a female. While Rei was assumed to be male, she's actually confirmed to be female, making their romance a pure romantic affair. With such a statement, are you trying to dismiss the message that the series is trying to convey? The series is more than just a series about romance. It's about accepting and loving everyone and everything without any discrimination. With this being the case, the Sorrow ship could be said to be the superior ship, not only for the growth of the characters, but showing how regardless of gender and their past, they're able to put everything aside and rewrite a new future together. With that said, I rest my case. Sorrow showcases what the series has to show and also clearly has the better character development regardless of the fact that Sorrow had eventually lost to Rei. This is why I believe Sorrow is the superior ship in the series. While I can see your points, Rei has also been pivotal in helping Arsenio develop and is the one shown more often in the series. As the younger and brighter one who lights the path for the future, I believe that Rei is more suited for Arsenio, bringing him out of the darkness of the past. even though one of the more important messages in the series is to love everyone regardless of their situation. For the most part, Rei had also been presumed to be male as well, even willing to engage in a female-to-female relationship. In the end, I believe that Rei is still the more suitable partner for Arsenio. While Zoro might have been able to let Arsenio let go of his past, Rei was truly the one who allowed Arsenio to move towards the future. With that said, I have nothing more to say as well. I see. Then... Objection! If we're talking about the best ships in the series, we cannot forget about Lorik. Compared to the relationships Arsenio has, the relationship between Lloyd and Eric has been longer, spanning over multiple years ago. Eric is also someone capable of changing his genders freely, and Lloyd fully accepts this. Furthermore, they are a more mature couple, with Lloyd being the more serious alpha and Eric being the more playful one. It creates the perfect dynamic between the two. Also, the troubles that the two had to go through finally developed their relationship into something that is no less than the other two ships that you two talked about. Lloyd has been trying to take responsibility for Rei, giving up his own romance for it. Yet, after seeing Eric again after all this time, they're finally able to blossom their romance much earlier than even Arsenio was able to with anyone else as well. Also, just look at the two of them together. They're basically models and standing beside each other. They're just absolutely perfect. Not to mention that they have the Beauty and the Beast kind of feel that I just can't get enough of. Not to mention how both of them are self-taught magicians and absolute powerhouses in their own regard. I don't believe that there are two people in this series who could be more fitting for each other here. Wait, don't take me away! Ah! So, Your Honor, what's the judgment? Having heard both of your statements, I've heard many good points shared between the both of you, which makes this an extremely difficult choice for me to make. However, after much deliberation, I have made my decision. The one who suits Arsenio the best is Betty. Guilty!